Empty your mind. It's arguably the single most common and most destructive piece of advice in the history of self-improvement. Let's try it right now. For the next 10 seconds, think about absolutely nothing. Ready, go. How did that go? If you're like 99.9% of the human population, your brain was anything but silent. Maybe you thought about dinner. Or maybe you fell into the classic trap. I'm trying not to think, oh wait, that's a thought. Damn it, and that's precisely the problem. We approach meditation with a fundamentally flawed expectation. We think the goal is to achieve some blissful, empty state. And when we inevitably fail to achieve that within the first few minutes, we conclude, my mind is too chaotic, or meditation just doesn't work for me. But what if I told you that this chaos, the incessant stream of thoughts, isn't a sign of failure? What if it's exactly what's required for meditation to succeed? In this video, we're going to dismantle the biggest myths about meditation. We'll dive into the neuroscience behind why our brains are designed to think nonstop. Most importantly, I'm going to give you a completely new mental model, a practical blueprint for building an effective meditation practice, even if you're the most skeptical or distractible person you know. This isn't a lecture on mystical spirituality. This is a practical user's guide for your mind. Welcome to Psych Blueprint. To understand why emptying your mind is impossible, we need to understand how the brain operates. Most of us visualize our mind like a room, and we think meditation is the process of cleaning out that room until it's perfectly empty. This is a flawed model. Your brain isn't a container waiting to be emptied. It's a non-stop thought-generating factory. Neuroscientists have identified a network in the brain called the default mode network, DMN. This is where your mind goes when you're not focused on a specific task. The DMN is responsible for daydreaming, thinking about the past, worrying about the future. In other words, it's responsible for most of the chaos in your head. The DMN isn't the enemy, but in many people it's overactive. Trying to shut down the DMN with willpower is like trying to stop a flowing river with your bare hands. You'll just end up exhausted and frustrated. So if we can't stop the river of thought, what can we do? We can learn to navigate it. This is where we need a new model. Stop thinking of meditation as a destination, emptiness. Start thinking of it as a practice. More specifically, think of it as going to the gym for your brain. In the gym, you need resistance, you need weights to build muscle. In meditation, the muscle you are building is attention and self-regulation. And the weights, the resistance, are your distractions. This is the core of everything. Imagine you're doing a bicep curl. You lift the weight up and lower it down. That's one rep. In meditation, the process looks like this. You focus on an anchor, usually your breath. Your mind inevitably wanders. This is encountering the weight. The crucial moment, you notice that you've been distracted. This is starting to lift the weight. You gently return your attention to the breath. This is completing the mental bicep curl. You just did one rep. And here is the most important paradigm shift. The moment you notice you are distracted is not the moment you failed at meditation. It is the moment you succeeded. Imagine someone new at the gym. They try to lift a weight and feel their muscles strain. If they thought that strain was failure, they'd quit immediately. But an athlete understands that the strain is exactly what builds muscle. Similarly, the distraction in meditation is what builds mental strength. Every time you perform a mental bicep curl, you are strengthening the neural pathways responsible for focus and emotional regulation. But there's a subtle mistake most people make when they do these reps, and it can sabotage your entire training process. Before we go deeper, let's clarify the difference between mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness is the quality of being present and fully engaged with whatever we're doing at the moment, non-judgmentally. As John Kabat-Zinn defines it, it's awareness that arises through paying attention on purpose in the present moment. Mindfulness is a way of being. Meditation is the intentional practice of cultivating that quality of mindfulness. It's the formal exercise. Meditation is what you do on the mat. Mindfulness is how you apply that mental strength to daily life. We're going to focus on the most researched type, focused attention meditation, using the breath as the anchor. This is the basic mental bicep curl exercise. Let's break down the 4 stages of the mental bicep curl in more detail. Stage 1. Focusing. You direct your attention to the anchor, the sensation of the breath entering and leaving. Stage 2. Mind wandering. Your DMN kicks in. A memory pops up. A plan forms. This is a natural process, not a personal failing. Stage 3. Noticing. The golden moment. This is the aha moment. It's when you realize, oh, I'm thinking about work. This is the skill of meta-awareness, the ability to observe your own thoughts. Every time you notice, you are waking your mind up from autopilot. Stage 4. Returning. You gently acknowledge the thought, let it go, and return your attention to the breath. And this brings us to the number 1 mistake that 99% of beginners make. They react to distraction with judgment and frustration. When they notice they are distracted, stage 3, instead of gently returning, stage 4, they beat themselves up. There I go again. I suck at this. Why can't I focus? This self-judgment creates a negative feedback loop. It triggers the stress response, making it even harder to focus. The key to successful meditation is not perfect concentration, but self-compassion when you lose concentration. Treat your mind like you're training a hyperactive puppy. When it runs off, you don't kick it. You patiently and gently bring it back, over and over again. Let's tackle some common roadblocks. Skepticism. 1. I don't have time. Start small. 5 minutes every day is better than 1 hour once a month. Consistency trumps intensity. Meditation gives you time back through improved focus throughout the day. Skepticism. 2. It's too boring. Yes, sometimes it is boring. Our brains are addicted to constant stimulation. Meditation is a dopamine detox. It teaches you how to be present without constant stimulation. Peace is on the other side of boredom. Skepticism. 3. It's too woo-woo or religious. Meditation is a psychological technology to improve the mind, entirely secular. You don't have to change your religious beliefs to practice the mental bicep curl. Skepticism. 4. I tried it and felt more anxious. This is extremely common. When you first stop and listen to your mind, you might notice the chaos that's already there. It's like turning on the lights in a messy room. Meditation didn't create the mess. It just showed you what was already there. Over time, the chaos starts to settle. Why go through all this effort? What are the actual benefits? The science is clear on the benefits of meditation: reduced stress and anxiety, calming the amygdala, improved focus, strengthening the prefrontal cortex. But the most significant benefit is enhanced emotional regulation. Meditation creates a space between stimulus and response. Imagine you receive a nasty email from your boss. The usual reaction. You feel immediately attacked. You get defensive, angry, and might fire off an emotional response you later regret. The mindful response. You receive the email. You feel the anger rising. But because you've practiced observing your emotions, you recognize this is anger. You don't identify with it. You create a gap. In that gap, you have the power to choose your response calmly and strategically. That is the real power of mindfulness. It doesn't make bad things disappear. It changes your relationship with them. It gives you the freedom to respond rather than react blindly. And there is a simple 60-second technique you can use to access this gap anytime during the day. All right, enough theory. Let's get practical. How do you actually start building your own mental gym? Step 1, setting the stage. You don't need any special equipment. Posture. You can sit in a chair with your back straight and feet flat on the floor, or sit cross-legged on the floor. The goal is to keep the spine straight for alertness, but the body relaxed. Eyes. You can close your eyes or keep them slightly open and look down at the floor with a soft gaze. Time. Start with 5 to 10 minutes a day. Set a timer. Consistency is key. Try to practice at the same time every day to build the habit. Step 2, the basic practice protocol here, is a step-by-step guide for a 10-minute session. Settle in, one main eye. Sit down and settle into your body. Take a few deep breaths. Body scan, we one man. Quickly scan your attention from the top of your head down to your toes, noticing any tension and trying to release it. Find the anchor, 30 says. Direct your attention to the sensation of the breath. Choose one spot where you feel it most distinctly, at the tip of the nose or the rising and falling of the abdomen. Do the reps. 7 men. Keep your attention on the anchor. When the mind wanders, notice it and gently bring it back. Repeat. If you have to bring your mind back 100 times, that's 100 successful reps. Wrap up, 30 sec. When the timer goes off, don't jump up immediately. Slowly expand your awareness to the whole body and then open your eyes. Step 3. Navigating obstacles, itching, nag, aches. Instead of reacting immediately, try observing the sensation with curiosity. It often passes on its own. Sleepiness. Try opening your eyes or make sure you are sitting upright. Strong emotions. If strong emotions surface, practice recognizing and labeling them. This is anxiety. Feel it in your body. Remember, you are not your emotions. Impatience. If you feel restless, notice the impatience. It's just another thought. Return to the breath. Step 4. Integrating into life beyond the formal practice. Here is the 60-second reset technique you can use any time to break the cycle of anxiety or stress. The 3-breath reset. Pause. Whatever you are doing, pause. Breath 1. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Focus entirely on the sensation of this breath. Breath 2. Inhale and exhale. Try to feel the relaxation spreading through your body as you exhale. Breath 3. Inhale and exhale. As you exhale, ask yourself, what is most important right now? Continue. Return to your activity with more clarity. The journey of building a mindful mind is not a sprint. It's a marathon you'll be running for the rest of your life. We started this video talking about the frustration of trying to empty your mind. Hopefully, you now understand why that model is flawed. Your mind is designed to think. Meditation isn't about fighting against the nature of your mind. It's about working with it. Remember the mental bicep curl metaphor. Distraction is not the enemy. It is the weight. The moment you notice you are distracted is the moment you succeed. Every time you gently return your attention to the breath, you are making your brain stronger, more resilient, and calmer. Don't worry about becoming a good meditator. There is no such thing as a good or bad meditation session. There is only practice or no practice. The only thing that matters is that you show up, sit down, and do the reps. The change will be gradual, but it will change everything. So here is my challenge to you. Try practicing for 10 minutes a day for the next 7 days. Don't expect miracles. Just be curious about the experience of your own mind. If you found this video helpful in reframing how you think about meditation, hit the like button and subscribe to Psych Blueprint for more content on applied psychology. And I want to hear from you. What was the biggest shift in how you think about meditation after watching this video? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Now go show up and do your reps.